Kate Martin and the Laces dominated over Sabrina Ionescu and Satou Sabally's Phantom BC. So I unfortunately had a personal reason come up yesterday and could not catch the first game of Unrivaled, but I will be darned if I miss today's games. And Unrivaled did not disappoint. There were some big names on the court today. There was Kate Martin on the Laces. There was Kayla McBride, who basically dominated the show. There was Sabrina Ionescu on the Phantom BC, Satou Sabally, Tosh Cloud, and I gotta say, Satou Sabally was kind of having a rough go at it. She fouled a lot. She had a tough time finishing at the rim. If we check out these box scores, she went 3 for 13 and 1 for 3 at the 3. She scored 9 points. And Sabrina Ionescu, she was pretty quiet in the first half of the game. And then she started heating up, drilling some threes. She went 6 for 17. Tosh Cloud went 5 for 12. And I was really curious to see how Brittany Griner's game would translate into this format, because as a very big player, this type of format is a speed type of basketball. So I was like dying to see how this would go. And Brittany Griner hit a 3. Not Brittany Griner's strong suit, but she ended up with 7 points. But the leader of the Phantom BC was Sabrina Ionescu, who finished with 17 points. But they were outscored by nearly double when the Laces scored 86 for the game. And by far, the MVP of today's game was Kayla McBride. She was 10 for 19 the entire game. And according to the box scores, she was 7 for 15, 7 3-pointers for 15 in the game. There was one point where she scored and apparently they called a flop, which I thought was kind of weird. You don't usually see that as often in the WNBA. And generally when we do, there's like a warning beforehand, but there was no warning. Therefore, Sabrina Ionescu got the free throw, but Kayla McBride scored 28 points for the Laces. Now, Kate Martin had a pretty impressive showing too, going 5 for 10. What did she get? She got 12 points for the game too. We got Steph Dolson taking 14 points. Alyssa Thomas, especially in that first half, she showed up. And Alyssa Thomas just getting cored by the Connecticut Sun. If things go as she played in this game, I see her free trade stock going up. Tiff Hayes came away with 14 points, and aside from Kayla McBride, who dominated on the team, everybody was pretty evenly matched. But I do want to talk about Katie Lou Samuelson, who a lot of people are watching because we're all thinking this could be her comeback to basketball after last season, kind of having a shaky time of it after the birth of her daughter, probably trying to acclimate to that. But she didn't really show us a lot today, going 1 for 5. And I noticed that her defense was her footwork was kind of slow. She landed at the bottom, only bringing in 2 points for the team. And I can't imagine that she's not feeling it. If I were Katie Lou, I'd be looking at this as my redemption for last season. But it's important to note that these teams have yet to really develop that team chemistry and get to know how each other plays. As a matter of fact, one of the things that I was really surprised about is how many turnovers there were. But as I thought about it, I did realize assists are something that you kind of get to know your teammate and where they're going to be and where you should be to get those passes. And I saw a lot of turnovers. But the best part about this Unrivaled League is that there is always something happening. It is fast-paced. It is fun to watch. These are some of the best players of the league, and it shows.